Good evening. This is Stan Matthews here at the GEMS Television Studios with my image doctor, Cornelius Hill. After the big Easter celebration, I think some folks are either sick or something or still celebrating Easter because we're hanging out alone tonight. To all those members of the Matthews broadcast family who are home, nursing whatever, God bless, and by his stripes you are healed, so that health will soon be on its way. Much to be very happy about on this evening. Obviously, one of the things we're very happy about is the great guest that we have on this evening, one of which is on standby here in the studio with me, Mr. Brian Fleming. And we will be getting to Brian very, very shortly. As you know, we don't start any Matthews broadcast without being grateful and expressing our gratitude for all of those who make the broadcast possible. The broadcast is viewer and sponsor supported. So those of you who've become friends of the broadcast this past week, we want to thank you so much. I was just telling Cornelius, you have now joined a group that numbers a little bit over 1,800 folks. That makes sure that the Matthews broadcast is supported and is live on the air. So for those of you who have supported us, I want to say thanks first to Ms. Tina Drew. I want to say thanks to Ms. Shakira Palmer. I want to say thanks to Dr. Archer Irby. I want to say thanks to Marissa Cortez. I want to say thanks to Mark Smith. I want to say thanks to Justice Roundtree. Want to say thanks to Tiffany Moultrie. Want to say thanks to Greg Delaney. Want to say huge thanks to Matt McCleary. Hope everything is going right with the wife's car, brother man. Want to say thanks to Greg Delaney. Want to say thanks to Benjamin Guy III. Want to say a special thanks to Benjamin Guy III. Want to say thanks to my cousin Audrey Pereira in Trinidad and Tobago. Want to say thanks to Simpson De Silva in Georgetown, Guyana. Want to say thanks to Aderonka Batamosi in Bermuda. Want to say thanks to Elizabeth Thompson, my big cuz, also in Georgetown, Guyana. Want to say thanks to Mr. Tyrone Ash, all the way down in Hollywood, Florida. I want to say thanks to Mr. Larry Davis, Dr. Larry Davis, in re-educating the African-American child. And Larry is in Texas, in Dallas, Texas, to be exact. So I want to say thanks to all of you because you and roughly 1,800 other people invest in us. They invest in me, and I'm so peacock proud to have all of you as supporters to make sure that we are able to spotlight the companies, the organizations, especially the nonprofits, and the professionals in urban New Jersey, in urban New York, in urban Pennsylvania, in urban Maryland, that is Washington, D.C., and Baltimore. That is where the primary guests come from. While I'm saying that, I want to say thank you so much to our success doctor and coach, Mr. Haki Ami, the writer of the book with Les Brown, Mission Unstoppable. So Haki down there in the nation's capital, hope all is well with you tonight. Thank you so much for being our correspondent to communicate all of the events and things happening in D.C. I want to also say thank you to Tyrone Ash, obviously, for communicating what is happening in Hollywood, Florida. We will be joined by Mr. Bernard Borges, who will be giving us the same information in Miami, Florida, having recently relocated from the great Trenton, New Jersey, and is doing extremely well, putting on Facebook all the tropical drinks he's sipping on now, Cornelius, down there in Miami. Tyrone Scotty Howard, thank you for information from Hotlanta. And I certainly want to make sure that we say thanks and hey to Mr. Cool Otis Brown, who is doing now his travel business, also in the Hotlanta area. So if you've tuned in, Cool Otis Brown, we can't wait to see you up here and watch you do that drum thing that you know how to do so well. The Matthews broadcast is brought to you, powered by GEMS Television and Radio, where we have big cable on the run. Gems, like other custom cable providers, streaming providers, provides you with the content, the streaming content that you want when you want, rather than being in one of those big bundled packages where you got 2,000 channels you don't even watch and a $200 bill you can't even pay. So I want to tell you to tune in to Gems, where we've got big cable on the run. The Matthews Broadcast is your marketing platform for connecting you, the urban business person, business owner, and the urban professional, with the new clients, with the strategic connections, and the community support you need to succeed. So call us at 732-357-5701, and we'd be glad to connect you as well. There are 4 principles that the Matthews Broadcast is based on, as you all know who tune in. They are divine alignment, they are divine empowerment, they are divine upliftment, and of course divine enrichment. They all work together in tandem. And so we begin at the book of the beginnings, Genesis chapter 1 verses 26 to 28, where the Bible says, and God made man and woman in his likeness and image and gave them authority to rule, right? And so when you get divinely aligned, then some things start to happen for you, one of which is you gain empowerment, divine empowerment. And here we hear the text in the book of Timothy saying, I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. You are far more powerful than you could ever know. So when you're aligned, you get the power. And then when you get the power, it's your responsibility to make someone feel uplifted. And here we hear the voice of the one and only Maya Angelou, our poet laureate, who has taught us in one of our favorite pieces that people may forget what you said. They may even forget what you did, but they never ever forget how you made them feel, right? So we want to make sure you make each other feel like the kings and the queens that you are. I remind you always, your candle loses nothing when it lights another. Your candle loses nothing when it lights another. There's more than enough in this infinite God's wisdom, wealth, and power. Here, when people talk about a time of scarcity or a world of scarcity, I ask them to go to a beach and try and count sand, right? And then when you do that, you'll see how infinitely prosperous and wealthy your God is, and you'll stop thinking that in order for Brian to step up and go up, Cornelius has to fall back. And in order for Jaron and Chris to rise, then somebody else has to be stepped on. That is just not the case. God's prosperity expands, in my opinion, and it expands proportionately. There's enough, more than enough for all of us. Finally, now when you gain that upliftment, the final principle comes into place, and that is divine enrichment. You know, as God said to Joshua, take off your shoe from off your foot, for the ground that you stand on is holy. I think a lot of people misinterpret. They think that holy ground is a spot, Cornelius. It's not a spot. It's a state of mind and a state of being. Because when you have that favor and that blessing on you, wherever you are is the right spot. Wherever you are is the right spot, right? And so more than 27 times in the scripture, the word prosperity is used. I'm just going to give you a few examples of how more than 27 times the word prosperity is used. First, in Psalm 1 verse 3, he or she, parenthetically, is like a tree planted by streams of water, that beareth fruit in due season, whose leaf will not wither, and whatever they do shall prosper, right? Again, in John 10:10, I came that they may have life and have it more abundantly, right? And so I could go on and find other passages where this prosperity is spoken about, but I want you to remember this and consider this. When Peter is supposed to have asked Jesus, how should we pray? The Lord told him part of that prayer, the Lord's Prayer, thy will be done. Where? On this earth as it is in heaven, right? So whatever may be bound in heaven may be bound or loosed on earth, and vice versa. You are supposed to live your divinely prosperous, uplifted, empowered life here and now. People think, for whatever reason, they've been taught in churches, synagogues, and mosques that they have to wait to be on the other side for them to live heaven on earth. That is not the case. Thy will be done on this earth as it is in heaven. I think sometimes, Brian, it's because people just don't want to push that extra mile or work a little harder. Right. So I'm going to wait till I'm 6 feet under or whatever it is before I go after my best life. Right. No, go after your best life now. I have said from the day that this president was elected, and I will say again today, this president is great for business and great for our clarity. He is great for business and he's great for our clarity. What do I mean? Look at the economy. The economy is going in the right direction. It is unquestioned. Second thing, are we clear or are we not clear? Are we dealing with a wolf who hates us, or are we dealing with a fox who's trying to trick us? He is a wolf, so we just need to go ahead and get stronger and understand, right? Iron sharpeneth iron. So you cannot have a great testimony, Cornelius and Brian, without a great test. Right? Muhammad Ali is the greatest because he had opponents like Joe Frazier, George Foreman, and Ken Norton who pushed him harder. They weren't laying down for Ali. Ken Norton broke his jaw. You know, Joe Frazier put him in the hospital in #1, right? They weren't just laying down. You get stronger when the opposition is stronger, right? 45 is making us stronger. And we're going to be ready for it. I have no doubt about it. We always show up and show out. Want to say special thanks and shout out to all those young people that went down to D.C. for the March for Our Lives. Thank you for picking up the spear and moving forward, right? I want to thank all those who came out to the Whole Person Prosperity Experience. Brother Brian was there with us at the Conference Center at Mercer College. Mama Yoga Samut Scott herself outdid herself. Thank you, Sam Collins. Thank you, Teska Frisbee. Thank you so much to the young ladies that came out to help us. Thank you to all of those who supported us, whether you were present on the Easter weekend or not. Your dollar showed up, and that's what counts, right? So we're going to begin our interview with Brian Fleming in just a moment. As I reflect upon all of the happenings on this Resurrection Sunday, two things come to mind that I just want to share with you as we get started here. Number one, I want to say a second happy birthday to my eldest child, Queen Candace Matthews, who celebrated a birthday in the 20-somethings.
Happy birthday.
I'm not going to get the specific number. You know how ladies it is. But you know that. But you make Dad prouder than ever in what you have become and what you are becoming. So just keep going in that direction. The sky is the limit, right? And there's nothing to do, Biggie said, but just to keep on keeping on, right? So keep on, young lady. I love you much, and obviously your family does as well. Your grandmother is in heaven. You know the two of you had a special relationship, and she's cheering for you harder than anybody else. Second thing I want to note, the mother of the South African Revolution that overturned the apartheid government has gone on to glory today. The one and only Winnie Madikizela Mandela has passed on today. And so, you know, Winnie was always my favorite of the Mandelas when it came to issues of dealing with apartheid. Nelson was my favorite when it came to dealing with issues of diplomacy and one-to-one relationships. There was nobody better. But see, his diplomatic personality was not the thing that pushed those whites over to opening up the country's system. It was Winnie and others like her who had an unwavering, this is our land, you dispossessed us from it, You took away our rights under the law, and we will do, as Malcolm said, whatever is necessary to remove you. And I believe that the reason why they ultimately came to the negotiation table with Nelson is because they knew they couldn't deal with Winnie. You know, so you could choose which way you was dealing. So they said we'll pick Nelson, right? He seems more reasonable, right? The same thing in this country. I mean, this is no different. This nation's rulers in the 60s made a choice to deal with Dr. King because they knew they couldn't deal with Malcolm. Or at least they thought they couldn't deal with Malcolm. You know, so they thought the King was more reasonable, right? So we had the same thing go on in South Africa. You know, her light will never be dimmed. Definitely a star in the pantheon of stars, a name that will go down in history, warrior woman for sure. So rest in peace. Continue to look over us with the other ancestors in our ancestral entourage, as Mama Yoga would say. And we know we're in good shape, Winnie, that you're sitting on the divine king and the divine queen's right hand and left hand, telling them, look out for my people down there. They still got a ways to go, right? So I don't believe in the concept of death. I only believe in life, and life is either spiritual or physical, right? And so for me, the concept of death does not occur. All you have to do, if you want to see why I feel that way, is put in the replay of The Lion King. Right? And you will see that Mufasa was always there. Either physically or in the spirit, right? He was always there, right? So everyone in my family, including my mom, I talk to them all the time. We obviously have a different kind of communication now, but do not believe in this concept of death. It is a fallacy. There's only life. Now, to our guest, the one and only Brian Fleming is here with me. Welcome, Brian.
Thank you so much for having me.
I am so glad to have you, and thank you for your support this weekend and for today. Brian, what is the name of your organization?
The name of my business is Spring Hill Financial Solutions.
Okay, and what does Spring Hill do, Brian?
What we do is we offer small business owners with financing, so we do it a little bit different. I guess what we try to do is make sure that we do common sense lending versus what the banks do with respect to lending only based upon weaknesses of whatever your profile is.
Ben Guy said, speak up.
Okay.
So repeat that for our audience. I think that's very, very unique because what you're talking about is a non-traditional methodology of issuing credit, right?
Right, exactly. So basically what we do at Spring Hill Financial Solutions is we offer money to small business owners. And we do it creatively because what banks do is they lend based upon weaknesses of your profile. We are more common sense lending. Basically, you give us a strength, credit, cash flow, or collateral. We will be able to fund you based upon those items of your business.
All right, all right. And what level of funding do you provide to businesses in our community, Brian?
Anywhere from 1,000 to anywhere up to maybe even $1 million, depending upon what type of business that you have, what type of business plan that you can provide to us, so we can get this over to maybe a private equity firm. So we do a lot of different types of funding.
Got it, got it. Both for businesses as well as real estate?
We have a little real estate investment money as well. We can do that as well, but mainly our main thing is business lines of credit, building business credit. So our niche basically is helping small business owners with getting $250K through their EIN instead of their social.
Got it, through the EIN.
Yes, so you create an entity, you have your EIN, and we can help you get funding through it where it's not tied to you personally, and it's money only tied to the business.
And that obviously helps with the potential for having personal liability if something goes wrong in the business, right?
Absolutely, and the unique portion of that also is you can also have bad credit with this strategy. because it's not really looking at your personal credit. It's looking at the credit of your business.
Got it. Now that's excellent. I almost hesitate, Cornelius, asking him what's the unique value. I think he already said it. But what is the unique value of Spring Hill Financial, Brian, in your opinion?
The unique is basically common sense lending. So banks, what they do is they ask you for your credit,
Right.
your income, your taxes, your blood type, number of kids, what's the name of your wife, everything. And they put your profile together and they poke holes in your profile.
Yeah.
And banks only lend based upon the weaknesses of your profile. So basically they do not want to lend. That's really what it is. So what, like I said, what we do is we lend based upon the strength. With respect to business credit, it is something that's being looked at by banks now in approving you for even more finance. So this is not just the final step of getting extra financing through other people's money. It's also to help strengthen your profile with them to get even more money.
Now that makes a lot of sense, and it certainly, having this kind of tool in your toolkit and a partner like you, Brian, I'm sure can help some business people to move their business forward, because what I've found in 29 years of consulting with small business between New York and DC, this just 4-hour corridor here, I've talked to numbers and numbers of small businesses, and I don't find in our community, Cornelius or Brian, that there's a lack of skill. Nor do I find there's a lack of will. What I do find is often undercapitalization and very poor advice.
Absolutely.
No offense at all to our clergy, but if you start a restaurant, I don't care how great pastor preaches, I don't know that he knows the ingredients to put in your lasagna or your pasta dish.
Absolutely.
But for some reason, we give assignments to clergy that they are not qualified to deal with, right? So someone comes to the pastor and says, well, should I go to Chicago or should I go to Birmingham and look for work? The pastor could pray with you. Oh, the pastor, the car's not starting. What do you say? Hopefully you say go to the mechanic, right?
Right.
So, poor advice all too often. Again, I'm not beating up on pastors. I'm just saying that because we are a highly spiritual people, we tend to use the spiritual option to answer all things, even those things that the pastors are not qualified to speak about. The second thing I find is undercapitalization.
Yeah.
People in our community, it's amazing what they do with nothing. With nothing.
Absolutely.
I mean, Cornelius, in you acquiring all of your camera equipment, how many banks financed you for the stuff you have?
None. None at all.
Think about if you had a line of credit, what you could get.
Oh my God.
That's not tied to you. You know what I'm saying? Tied to your business.
Yes.
So also the unique part about the business credit is you can have bad credit with this. So like I said, I started out in the credit industry with a credit repair company. So my credit repair company is Spring Hill Credit Solutions, and it's tied together. It goes hand in hand with my financial company.
There you go.
So a lot of our business owners they kind of jacked up their credit. So I'm like, hey, let's fix your personal credit. Let's separate everything. Let's also create your business credit profile. Let's get access to funding based upon it as well. So we can kind of build one and clean up the other.
Well, here's why I don't flinch when it comes to the issue of credit and finance in our community. In 2008, after running up trillions of dollars in debt on the international markets, the bankers in this country then went after people with the allure of getting a house that they couldn't pay for. The concept of a no-doc loan. I met a Latino brother who was a landscaper when I was living in South Orange, New Jersey, Cornelius. And I went to his home one day. He was showing me some of the equipment that he got, and he was living in a mansion, right? And so, I asked him, how could you afford this mansion doing what you do? He said, I just went in and signed No documentation means no documentation.
Absolutely.
Here's where the crime was. Those bankers knew he could not afford the home he was in. And they knew at some point in the near future, when the bottom fell out, he was going to be foreclosed upon. There are literally ghost towns that were left in places like Nevada, Las Vegas, in the suburbs of Peoria, Illinois, all over this country. People of all colors lost everything, right? In the period of 2008 to 2010. And the reason why I don't flinch over this credit business is the United States of America now owes more debt than any nation in the world, in the trillions of dollars, held by the Chinese, the Japanese, and others, right? And so America itself is in hock. So people say, well, my credit is not. America's credit. Right? So you should take the time and meet with people like Brian and get it together and turn it around. Brian, who's a great referral that will help your business and organization, Spring Hill, grow more profitably? What are the type of clients you're looking for?
Actually, it's pretty wide with respect to business credit. If you have bad credit, you can get access to financing through business credit. If you are a startup, we can help you build business credit. Even if you don't even have an entity, we can assist you with the entity. We can tell you how to get the EIN, of course, through the IRS and on through Dun and Bradstreet and everything. So you don't even have to have an entity to start with us. So we can start you from A to Z, all the way down from the beginning of your business. Anybody that is looking for capital that do not want it to be tied to them, other people's money, that's my perfect client.
Got it. Brian, pull that microphone closer to you.
Sure.
Thank you so much, Brenda Robinson. She's saying, I'm trying to hear everything he has to say. I'm trying to get some help from the brother. Right? All right. Thank you.
Do I need to repeat anything?
Yeah. Tell us who is a great referral that will help to grow Spring Hill.
All right, cool. So it's pretty much wide open. Anybody that has bad credit, I can assist them with building their business credit. Even if you have good credit, we have other lines of credit programs, other financial programs that are creative, that because you're bringing a good strength to the table, we can also fund you based upon it as well. If you don't even have an entity, we can help you create the entity, and we can get you started with building business credit from that standpoint too. So startups, bad credit, good credit, does not matter. We just need a willing person that wants money for their business, and we would definitely help them.
And you start as little as $1,000.
Absolutely.
Got it. Benjamin Guy said that in some places in the country, subprime lending is coming back. Some people are going to be victimized. Are you seeing some loose loans starting to pop up again?
A little bit from my mortgage rep friends. Yeah, they kind of telling me a little bit about it, and also I learned a little bit more through Ben as well.
Not no doc coming back though.
I do not know about that. I don't know about that. So possibly, you never know.
We pray that it's not. What are you offering to our audience in return for their support tonight?
I will give them a free assessment of their business, number one. But any Inner Circle member, I will also give a 10% discount off of the business credit program.
Wow.
Got it. That's very generous. Thank you so much on behalf of all of us in the Inner Circle and the greater Inner Circle community. Brian, so that our community can support you, how do they get in contact with you? What's a good phone number to reach you, and what is the website address so that people can connect with you?
Absolutely. The website is www.springhillfinancial.com, and you can reach us by 201-243-4063.
All right. Thank you so much for being with us, Brian. I have a feeling that we have a lot of members who are going to be reaching out to this brother. Loans starting at $1,000.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Yeah. I am certain, Brian, that many of our members are going to want to avail themselves of your services. So as we end this first segment, understand that JP Morgan Chase has many things wrong with it, right? but it has one thing that's right with it that I really, really, as a marketing person, as a marketing expert, I just embrace. They have the value message that the right relationship is everything, right? And so I don't want to hear, I'm working so hard, I'm trying to build this nail salon. I'm working so hard, I'm trying to build this hair salon. I'm working so hard, I'm trying to get this restaurant off the ground. I'm working so hard, I'm trying to get this car brokerage off the ground, but I can't get my hand on capital. The brother is sitting right here with us and is willing. Your phone number one more time as we go out of the segment, Brian.
201
Got it.
243 4063.
4063. All right, Ben Guy, we got your man. And so he is far too large for me to say we got your boy. This brother is well proportioned and very, very tall. So thank you so much for coming, Brian. And we will be bringing in our next guest. They are people who are leading an education revolution and bringing people forward that are looking for ways to enhance the educational experiences for kids in the urban community. They are Grades for Life, the CEO and the I guess the chair of the board, Miss Jaren Kenny. And Mr. Chris John. All paychecks and ask for our friend Sonati Laurent, who is our North Jersey representative, and you can reach him at 732-682-2003. When you're ready to move from good to great, call Paychecks and celebrate. The second, join the campaign to take your hair and your skin back by calling Paris Beauty Supplies at 609-218-5883. Ask for Drew Paris or Donna Paris. Ordering online is just fine. Go to www.paris, P-A-R-I-S, hair, H-A-I-R, and beautysupplies.com. Join the campaign to take our hair and their skin back. Listen, I don't complain about the Koreans or anyone else and how they disrespect us when we walk into our hair supply stores. Guess what? Vote with your feet. And get to Paris Hair and Beauty Supply. You don't have to deal with that if you feel like you're being disrespected. Shop elsewhere. Let your money vote, right? The market may be down. Today it was down almost 700 points before closing about 400 and something points down. But it's not the only game in town. Call our precious metals expert, Mr. Sam Collins, at 215-630-0870. Sam will show you how to save a little gold, tell a lot of people, and make a lot of money. Gold gains about 3 or 4% annually. It has been used for thousands of years as a means of exchange, and Sam shows you how you can use it as a part of your portfolio to protect. For as little, Cornelius, as $71, you could buy a gram of gold every week and know that that gold will go up in value, right? And right now, the company that Sam is a part of and he's an owner in, they are offering their own cryptocurrency called the Carat Coin. It is the only cryptocurrency, Chris, that is backed by gold.
Wow.
So where the other ones will fluctuate and go up and down, the Carat Coin is backed by gold. So reach out to Sam at 215-630-0570. Getting the dream home or investment property is truly great. So you've got to call Ms. Farida Stokes at Harks Real Estate at 609-337-4200. That's right, Harks Real Estate is the key to unlocking your real estate possibilities. Again, call Farida at 609-337-4200. For the good news, views, and information from us and by us, call Ms. Leslie Carter of 4E News at 609-647-4064. 609-647-4064 and get your subscription to the Fourth Estate News today. Get the protection you and your business needs and the security you want by calling Brother Tony Brooks at Brooks Wealth Strategies Group at 201-892-3911. 201-892-3911. 911. Tony will be with us next Monday night. Cornelius, can't wait for you to meet him.
All right.
Very dynamic brother, a Morehouse man.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Right. I'm a Kane man like Chris.
There we
I'm
go.
very proud.
There we go. And I'm proud too.
I tell everybody that I know, I went to a HBCU. When I went to Kane from 1982 to 1986, 81% of the students were black or brown. That
Wow.
makes that place a HBCU.
It basically does. Wow.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Think about it. I mean, there's only 19% of the other people there, right? Remember, at one point, Kane was known as Newark State. Remember, Cornelius?
Yeah,
So
right.
anything known as Newark State got to be black. That's not a suburban type of name.
It's definitely not. That's wow.
Good points.
That's right, Newark State. Think about that. It was Newark State Teachers College.
I had no
Right.
idea. Wow.
For the website and brand materials that inspire your mind, body, and soul, I want y'all to call Raheem and Kevin Phillips at Shift Design and Control. They do all of your branding, including websites. Finally, Whole Person Prosperity Coaching, led by the one and only Mama Yoga, Samut Scott, teaches their clients how to acquire the mind-body relationship and financial prosperity they desire. So if you want the mind and body you need to prosper and thrive, call Mama Yoga at 609-516-9805. 609-516-9805. I want to welcome Stephen Shaw, who's watching us. Also want to welcome Jose Feliciano, who's watching us. That's Jose Feliciano from East Orange that grew up down the street from me. That's not Jose Feliciano, the singer. He would have to be singing from heaven.
Sure would.
So welcome, Hose, and again, welcome Brenda Robinson and everyone, Gino Piero, and all the people in the Jaron Kenny and Chris Johnson crew, including Ben Guy. So let's get right into it with Grades for Life. Chris, the lady said that she wanted you to go first, so I'm going to go to you, Mr. CEO.
Okay,
We
all
know
right.
the organization's name is Grades for Life. So tell us, what is the unique value of Grades for Life, Chris?
The unique value of Grades for Life is that we focus on connecting communities through education. And we do that through technology and with the integrated platform. Now, to tell you more about it, we actually work with schools, organizations, businesses, and we unite them through this technology-based system.
Got it. And so if I were to ask you the same question, what is the unique value, Jaron, of Grades for Life?
Yes, similar to what Chris mentioned, Grades for Life it has a unique value proposition in that it connects students, it connects teachers, it connects businesses, ultimately by providing a rewards program or an incentive for the students to do well, and at the same time they're incentivized by local businesses. So we're driving revenue to the local business at the same time as incentivizing the students to do well. So everybody's winning.
Now that makes sense. Win-wins always get people to jump into action, swing into action faster and more powerfully. Chris, who is a great referral for Grades for Life that will help the organization grow? You have an aspiration to go statewide, then regionally, then nationally. Who are the types of people? I was looking at a branding conference from London the other night in the TED Speaks.
Oh, wow.
And in the TED Speaks lecture, a gentleman was saying that 1% of the people who are your early adopters and your fiercest fans are the people who will take you from one level to another. They will give testimonials. They will put together groups that you don't know about, all to support you. And so you need to find out who the 1%, that hardcore that just loves what you do with passion, and reward those people and empower them so they could do more. So Chris, tell me, who are those 1%ers, the truly committed Grades for Life people that, you know what, you don't even have to worry about whether or not they're giving giving testimonials, whether or not they're sharing your information, whether or not they're gaining more support for you. Describe those people to me.
Well, I mean, it's all about unification. It's all about unification, pushing our students to do better, pushing youth to do better, pushing our communities to do better. And our ideal referral would be anyone who thinks progressively, where whether it be a community, whether it be a school, whether it be an organization that could use this rewards program. We're all about connecting communities and connecting schools, organizations.
All right. Jaron, same question.
Yeah.
Who are those 1%ers, those diehards, those Grades for Life fanatics, that are the people who can really move the organization forward?
Yeah. Thank you for asking, Stan. Those 1%ers or those diehard fanatics are people like Stan Matthews.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'm one of them.
I like that. I like that.
People who are going to use your voice responsibly. So there's a position for you as an ambassador, as a sponsor. There's even an opportunity to be compensated. But we're looking to expand. It's already growing fast, but we're looking to continue to expand to school systems, school districts, anywhere where there's people who need to be incentivized or who benefit from being incentivized to perform even better. So we've worked with adoption agencies, Boys and Girls Clubs. The list goes on, but thinking outside of the box and even just being a voice for us to help us get into, like Chris said, your community, your school system, your school district, or even an alternative school.
Well, that's one of the things I'm glad you spoke about. So in the month of May, I want everyone who's watching to get ready. There is going to be an assembly in the township of Willingboro. We'll announce specific information in coming broadcasts, and you'll hear this from me. I have joined the Grades for Life team as an ambassador. I will be hosting one of those assemblies coming up in the township of Willingboro, and secondly in the township of North Brunswick, and we're going to move it all around the state. Wherever the Matthews broadcast is, you're likely to see me behind a microphone, Cornelius behind a camera, and we're going to make sure that those young people have that enhanced educational experience that you spoke about, right?
That's awesome.
The
That's
reality for us is this. There's a lot of people that talk about it. There's a lot of people that dream about it. But there's very few people that be about it.
Yeah.
That man over there is with me. This is 3 years that we've taken this positive message, that we connect our community with the professionals and the businesses. We could not have 1,891 friends of the Matthews broadcast, black and brown folks giving us their money to make sure that we stay on this air, if they didn't like this positive message. Because after all, what we're saying what Marcus Garvey said, up you mighty race, you can accomplish whatever you will, right? In the state of New Jersey, we spend annually, black folk, $452 million. If you just did 10% of that business with yourself, you'd have $45.2 million somewhere in a savings account to do some stuff, right? So I'm looking forward, North Brunswick and Willingboro. We're coming.
There it is.
All in. Lawrence Jackson, my great friend from the great Elmwood United Presbyterian Church, thanks for joining us. But I'm super excited about Grades for Life. I think Grades for Life could do what Teach for America has done. You all are two talented, wonderful people from our own community. He's got an MBA. You probably got 10 degrees, and all of that. So I'm just glad that you guys have decided to build our own kids.
Right.
Let me just ask you this question. What are you offering in return for our audience and our community support? So if someone's sitting at home saying, you know what, I want to send that young man $50. I want to send that young woman $50 so they can help our children get a better education. What do you say to that person? How are you going to be a blessing to him or her for supporting Grades for Life?
Thank you so much, Stan, for asking the question. Really, I mean, we appreciate your support, and we support you. We actually have T-shirts. We have different opportunities to be involved, whether it be the events T-shirts. The other week we were a part of a celebrity basketball game, and you can get tickets to those. Also, we have T-shirts that have the Grades for Life logo, and we really want you to be involved. So if you can go to razoo.com, and look up our company, you'll see Grades for Life, and it's right on there as well.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Razoo is spelled Razoo.
Right. You know there's an old saying: behind every great man, there's a wife, a girlfriend, or a friend who is threatening him to do it the right way. So as Chris was messing that thing up, I just saw Jaren's finger. Say it right, dude. Say it right, dude. So I'm gonna come right down the ladies' lane, right? Jaren, tell us what are some of the things that you see as you dream out, as you vision out and imagine forward, right? What Grades for Life can be. What do you see?
Oh, I think about that question every day. And Chris, you did a great job.
Thank you.
She spanked him. Now she told him, it's all right.
But realize
She only pinched me. It's okay. I'm okay. There's no blood. No
you
blood.
get better. You need people around you. Iron sharpens iron. So,
That's right.
but no, really, this vision. When did you create this company, Chris? What year?
2015.
In just that short amount of time, it's already starting to really blossom into what's possible. But ultimately what I see is this program across the country benefiting young people. So young people are not just doing well, but they're engaged, they're owning their own success, they're accountable, but they're taking responsibility for themselves and ultimately who they become. And I don't think it needs to stop in New Jersey. Right now we already have interest in other states, but we're just getting started. And I see this across the country, young people doing well, young people being proud, standing up, and committing to their own excellence.
Absolutely.
Love
The thing
it.
that I think
Love
is
it.
unique that I love about it is for the young people, they get enhanced educational experience for keeping their grades up,
Yeah.
for being buddies rather than bullies,
Yeah.
for being in attendance so they show up so that they can go up. You got to be present for you to win.
Right.
You can't
That's
win
true.
as an absentee. And also that Grades for Life means that you might not have to invest anything out of your pocket or your parents' pocket or come out with debt. I assure you, if you have a B+ or higher grade point average all the way through high school, you are likely to go through college with very little investment for yourself. For
Yeah.
Grades for Life is a great financial planning tool.
It
if
is.
you want to be
Right.
in college and postgraduate education with very little debt. Want to say hey to Mr. Bill Owens, our automobile executive par excellence for 41 years at
Wow.
Lucas Ford. He sold everybody a car from James Brown. I think he sold Moses a caddy. Bill's been doing it. Hey, Bill, so thank you for having your daughter Aisha tune in tonight, another one of the Owens clans. And during his 40th year in selling automobiles for Lucas Ford, Bill did 40 for 40. So because he was there for 40 years, whatever automobile you leased or purchased from him, he gave you a 40-inch screen color television. So I don't know if there's a 41-inch color television, but Sam Collins is going to get another Ford truck. So Sam said, I'm going to get something. Right. So
We've got to up our game. They're giving away 40.
I know, yeah.
Well, look,
TVs,
well, look,
okay.
and guess what
Right.
town he lives in?
Where?
Willingboro.
Willingboro,
He's
okay.
watching to check
Wow,
the two of you
okay.
out.
Very nice, very nice.
So that as we roll forward
Welcome, welcome.
into May, to starting to celebrate the education of our children, we are hoping that Lucas Ford, which is a very large organization, will support us with their resources.
Amazing.
I want to thank the two of you, but before I let you run, I'm going to ask you, Jaren, what's the website of Grades for Life?
www.grades4life.com. That's grades with the number 4 life.com.
I knew she wasn't gonna mess it up.
Nah.
She didn't want to give Chris an opening to chastise.
Oh, man.
All right, what's the
man.
phone number, Chris?
The phone number is 908-510-4104.
All right. One more time, Chris.
That's 908-510-4104.
All right. I want to thank the two of you. My mom always told me that education is the ladder, and how high you go on that ladder is up to you.
Yeah.
All right. So, I took it as far as attending and graduating from Seton Hall Law School and couldn't handle it anymore after that. That was it. All right. So the JD was enough for me. But you know what? I agree with my mom that education is a ladder and you determine how high you go. Right.
I like that.
And so the other thing is I tell my own children, and when we get opportunities to speak all over the state, and I do get opportunities to say something in a lot of different places, your aptitude, right, determines your altitude. Your aptitude determines your altitude. So keep going up, young black people. We are just an awesome, awesome people. Imagine the possibilities. Remember, before Barack Obama, there was not a black man or woman walking, running, riding horseback, or on a mule that ever thought one of us would end up in the White House. And he did it, and he did it awesomely well,
Yes.
with his beautiful queen and his daughters next to him right there, so we could show that we could prosper and we could be excellent on any level in any game. Remember, stop getting ready. Stop getting set. It's time to go and grow. The worst thing to grow old with is a feeling of frustration and regret. Right? If you aim for the moon and you miss, you're only going to hit the stars.
That's true. I
You're
like that.
only going to hit the stars, right? I tire of those who talk about would have, could have, and should have. Just go ahead and do it, right?
Right.
You cannot finish anything successfully until you start something confidently. Chris and Jaron, thank you for starting Grades for Life confidently,
Thank you.
so you could finish it successfully. Remember, Matthew's broadcast audience and those in the studio and in the reception area, there are only two types of people in the world. There are dreamers like Cornelius Hill and Pastor Angelo McCutcheon, who will follow me behind this microphone, and Jaron Kenny and Cornelius Hill and Christopher Johnson and Ben Guy and Matthew McClary and all those watching at home and those who will join us downstairs for some conversation and a meal in a little bit. There are dreamers like you, and there are dream killers looking to kill your dream. Emotional vampires looking to suck your blood and your resources. Embrace the first and run like heck from the second. This is Stan Matthews with Cornelius Hill, Jaron Kenny, and Chris Johnson saying good night and God bless.
Good night.
Good night and God bless.